Why we do what we do, surprising psychology facts. Have you ever caught yourself doing something and then wondering, why did I just do that? Whether it's checking your phone for the 10th time in an hour, feeling an unexplained urge to impress someone, or overeating despite being full, human behavior is full of surprises. Psychology holds the key to unlocking these mysteries. And once you understand the why behind your actions, it's like having a superpower. You can better manage relationships, improve your habits, and live more consciously. In this article, we explore 10 surprising psychology facts that explain why we do what we do. These insights are not just fascinating, they're deeply revealing. Stick with me till the end. What you'll learn might just change the way you look at yourself and others forever. 1. We make 95% of our decisions subconsciously. One of the most surprising psychology facts is that the vast majority of our daily decisions, what we eat, wear, say, or even think, are made subconsciously. The conscious mind likes to take credit, but it's the subconscious that drives behavior. This automatic decision-making comes from brain shortcuts developed through years of learning and habits. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need to consciously think about every motion. But this goes deeper. Even your social choices, like whom you trust or feel attracted to, often stem from automatic mental patterns shaped by past experiences and emotions. 2. The brain prioritizes emotion over logic. Another reason why we do what we do is because emotion comes before logic in the brain's processing order. The amygdala, our emotional processor, reacts faster than the prefrontal cortex, our logical decision maker. That's why we often act based on feelings and only rationalize our actions afterward. Ever bought something expensive on impulse and then convinced yourself it was a great investment? That's your emotional brain making the decision, and your logical brain cleaning it up afterward. 3. We mirror others without realizing it. Ever noticed how you cross your legs when someone else does? Or smile when someone smiles at you, even if you're in a bad mood? This is called mirroring, and it's one of the most instinctive human behaviors. It's how we build rapport and trust. Psychologically, mirroring is driven by mirror neurons in the brain. These neurons fire when we observe another person's actions, leading us to unconsciously imitate them. Mirroring helps in bonding and can even make someone like you more. We crave social proof, even when it's irrational. Why do online reviews affect your buying decisions? Why does a crowded restaurant seem more appealing than an empty one? This happens due to social proof, our psychological need to follow the crowd. Evolutionarily, it made sense. If others were doing something, it was likely safe. Today, this need often overrides our own judgment. Whether it's fashion trends or viral challenges, many of us follow along just because others are doing it, even if it makes little personal sense. 5. Our memories are not reliable. Think your memories are trustworthy? Think again. One of the most fascinating psychology facts is that memory is reconstructive, not a perfect recording. Every time you recall an event, your brain rebuilds the memory, and small errors can creep in. That's why eyewitness testimonies can be inaccurate, and why people remember things differently after discussing them with others. Our brains fill in gaps with assumptions, which is why we sometimes believe things that never happened. 6. We're hardwired to avoid pain, even emotional pain. Your brain treats emotional pain very similarly to physical pain. Studies using brain scans show that rejection, loss, and failure activate the same regions of the brain as a physical injury. This explains why we avoid difficult conversations, fear vulnerability, and often stay in our comfort zones, even if it holds us back. The fear of emotional discomfort drives many of our decisions, from staying silent in meetings to avoiding relationships. 7. Dopamine drives more than just pleasure. We often associate dopamine with pleasure, but it's actually the anticipation of reward that spikes dopamine levels. This is what drives addiction to social media, gambling, and even unhealthy relationships. Every like, message, or notification is a potential reward. Our brains become hooked on the possibility of pleasure, not the pleasure itself. This is why scrolling endlessly or waiting for a text back can feel so intense. It's dopamine doing its job. 8. People overestimate how much others notice them. Ever felt like everyone was watching your every move? Like your bad hair day or small mistake was the center of attention. That's the spotlight effect, and it's a powerful psychological illusion. In reality, people are far too focused on themselves to pay much attention to you. But our brains make us feel hypervisible. This effect leads to social anxiety and can hold people back from speaking up, trying new things, or expressing themselves. 9. We judge others in seconds, sometimes unfairly. It only takes about 7 seconds for someone to form a first impression. What's more surprising? These impressions tend to stick even if they're wrong. Our brains are wired to make snap judgments for survival. Unfortunately, this means we often judge others based on superficial factors: clothes, posture, tone of voice, before they even speak a word. And people do the same to us. This highlights the importance of body language, eye contact, and confidence, especially in first encounters. 10. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you think. Last but not least, one of the most underrated reasons behind our behavior is our environment. From the people we hang out with to the colors in our rooms, everything influences our thoughts and actions. Studies show that people eat more when served on large plates, spend more when shopping to upbeat music, and focus better in cleaner, more organized spaces. Our surroundings constantly send us signals, and we respond to them, often unconsciously. Final thoughts: why understanding these psychology facts matters. So, why do we do what we do? It turns out that our minds are a lot more complex and fascinating than we might think. From subconscious decisions and emotional triggers to the power of social influence and our flawed memories, every behavior has a reason grounded in psychology. But here's the good news. Once you start recognizing these hidden forces, you gain the ability to take control. You can break free from harmful patterns, build stronger connections, and become more empathetic and self-aware. Understanding these surprising psychology facts isn't just interesting, it's transformational. Now that you know the truth behind your daily actions, what will you do differently?